Wife had 3-year affair with her college professor. She claims she was brainwashed by him. Hi everyone. This is a really hard post to write, but it feels therapeutic to write this out. Hopefully I can get some advice along the way. My wife and I have been married for almost 10 years. We're both in our mid-30s. A few years ago, she decided she wanted to go back to college and get her master's degree. We both thought it was a good idea. Our married life was great and we were both very happy. It was the happiest I had ever been. When she started going back to school, life obviously got busier because she had more on her plate. After a few months, her behavior started to change. She'd stay out later than normal to study at the university library, or she'd meet up with people from class for various projects. Sometimes, she'd forget something at the office and have to go get it, even though it was late. I had a feeling something was off, but I had no proof. Everything she said made sense. Sometimes, I would verify things or try to find inconsistencies. But nothing. Everything seemed normal. I just thought I was being paranoid. One Saturday morning, I sat down to check my emails. We share a home computer, which she sometimes uses for homework. I noticed she forgot to log out of her account from the night before. Before logging her out, I see tons of emails from one person. I didn't recognize the name. So I went to her Facebook and Instagram accounts to see if she was friends with this guy. Nope. So I Googled him and it turned out it was her college professor. He was in his 50s, married and had 3 teenage kids. It looked like he was happily married. I was relieved and didn't think much else about it. The emails seemed innocent. I remember when I was in college, I emailed back and forth with professors all the time. From then on, I never noticed anything suspicious. Again, I thought I was being paranoid. Some time goes by and life gets easier. She was really hitting her stride with school and she wasn't as stressed or busy anymore. We had more time together and we started building a house. Life was essentially on cruise control. Until the nightmare began. It was a Thursday and I decided to come home early and surprise her because I wanted us to go out for dinner at this new place that just opened. As I was driving down our street, I noticed a car pulling out of my driveway. We passed each other and I immediately recognized the guy. It was her old college professor. So I immediately go inside the house and found my wife standing in the kitchen wearing just a towel. She was so stunned that she didn't even know what to say. Like she was fumbling her words asking me why I was home. I immediately asked why her professor had just left our house and why was she in a towel? She told me I was overreacting and nothing had happened. So I went straight up to our bedroom and she tries to stop me. When I got to our room, it was obvious what had happened. I told her I was going to contact his wife if she didn't tell me everything. Finally, she broke down and admitted it all. They had been having an affair on off for 3 years. She said it started the semester after she left his class. But she claims that she was brainwashed by him and that she didn't really want to do it. She said he was in a position of power even though he wasn't her professor anymore, and claims she was manipulated into a sexual relationship over a 3-year period. It's been a week since I found out. I moved my stuff out that next morning when my wife was at her parents' house and I contacted a divorce attorney. I feel like a zombie. None of this even seems real. My wife has been texting, calling and emailing me non-stop asking for forgiveness and a second chance. Her family's trying to contact me as well to convince me to give her another shot. Today, I finally blocked her on everything and her family. Fortunately, I have a great support system and everyone has been super helpful. I'm going to schedule an appointment with a therapist next week so I can get the ball rolling. I know it will take time to heal and I know I deserve better. Sorry for the long post. I really needed to get this off my chest. Redditor's reactions story 2 after. Redditor 1, 3 years in your own bed. 2 slime balls who got off abusing your devotion. Literally orgasming to it. Please do tell his wife. You must. All the while she is acting like things between you are great. And, they were for her. 3 years? Whatever you do know, she had 1,000 days of multiple chances. Op answer, I completely agree and wow, 1,000 days really puts it into perspective. It's crazy when you think of it that way. Redditor 2, Brainwashed by the D. Lamau. That's a new one. Redditor 3, I am so sorry for what you are going through, and that you're now being a member of the betrayed club. Your wife isn't some 15-year-old teenager who got brainwashed by her teacher. She's practically middle-aged woman FFS. I'm sorry to say, but please be aware that you will be gaslight until your divorce is over. Don't fall for sob stories. She had 3 years to come clean. Literally over 1,000 days, morning, noon and night, to come to you and tell you about her betrayal. But no, she didn't do that. What she did, she invited him into your own bed. Go no contact, have your lawyer take care of communications about the house, finances, etc. I know you are hurting badly right now, but I promise you that it will get much easier. Eventually. Next few months is going to be hell, I won't lie, but after few months, and with your support system, you will start feeling like a human again. Go to therapy and start your healing process, and make sure that you eat at least something and drink plenty of water. And stay away from alcohol. And from one betrayed wife to you, please tell AP wife. That woman deserves to know that her marriage is a sham and give her opportunity to make her own choices. Come here to vent whenever you need an ear. Good luck. Hugs, Op answer, thank you very much. I completely agree. I'm trying to focus on the good things I have in my life. I have a lot to be grateful for. I'm not going to leave his wife in the dark. She should have the opportunity to decide her future just like I did. You've all been really great and it means a lot to me. Story 2, my story. It's been 41 days since D-Day, yes, Christmas Day. Reading through here has helped me. I wanted to tell my story, so here goes. This is long and typing it out is for my benefit. Been journaling a lot, several pages a day. Great release. Our story. We started dating in fall 1997 or spring of 1998, never been able to pinpoint down when the two of us became an official we. Definitely kissed her in 97, but we were pretty loose for a while. We'd go out on dates with each other, then other people, then back together and began spending more and more time with each other, and by the summer there was definitely an us. She got an apartment across the parking lot at the complex I was living in the fall of 98, and because of one of the ass clowns I was friends with at the time wouldn't move out, I basically moved in with her that fall. Clothes and bed at my apartment, slept every night in hers. We were happy, and by the fall of 2001 I asked her to marry me and were married in 2002. Spent the first several years together having fun, and had our first child in 07, and his brother in 11. Been in a happy, committed relationship for 21 years, coming in on 17 married. We are realists that marriage is never perfect, it has its highs and its lows. We are both musicians and have always equated marriage to a good piece of music has its moments that are forte high, raucous, and its moments that are piassamo lows, wrought with emotion. We have always shared this sentiment with budding couples of newlyweds. Just roll with it and embrace it for what it is. If you don't have the lows fights, you aren't really living an authentic relationship. Lol, we had it all figured out, right? We have had some recent stress after living our entire lives in one region. We decided to take a jump and move to another part of the country. This was followed by a layoff within the first 18 months, leading to another move, even further from home. We have now settled into our new home, and find that the company we moved here for no longer has a home for us in it, leading to another job change. This has been hard of my spouse. Where it all went wrong. I have been suspicious of something going on for a while now, and had begun really losing sleep on the issue. It began with an anecdotal story in July of last year about a co-worked on a work trip in Vegas that had been sharing some very intimate company insider information with my spouse. She indicated that he should not have been telling, but was drunk and perhaps a bit lippy. It honestly sounded like pillow talk. Based on the nature of the relationship, I pointed it out to her and was a bit prickly when she mentioned him again, but passed it off on a friend relationship and that there was nothing to worry about. Then as fall rolled around, there were more and more tells of something off. A change in grooming habits, some new lingerie, and some other little pieces. The biggest was one night while we were having time, she began to cry. I couldn't figure out what exactly was happening. She mentioned that she was going through some stuff and might even act a little strange for a period, and not to take it to heart, just go eat her some space. Well, all of this added up in my mind, and I asked her several times if there was something going on and was she cheating on me. The night of Christmas Eve to Christmas I decided I needed resolution and would take matters into my own hands by looking at her texts on her phone to find evidence. I did not plan for it that morning, yes. Christmas morning while breakfast was being cooked in the glow of torn wrapping paper tossed around the Christmas tree, but I ended up with her phone helping to transfer son's old to new phone and did a quick review, found the text I hoped would not be there and only words remember seeing were, "I cannot take you being all over me 1 minute and ignore me another." I was ducking devastated instantly. Ducking destroyed. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't stand, I couldn't talk. My son was in the room, said something, "You okay, Dad?" I stumbled into the kitchen and told her I found a message on her phone. To her credit, we walked outside and talked through it. She claims to have given me the blow-by-blow and full disclosure. 3 total events. 1 in his apartment in another state where he is relocated and she was visiting for work. While her company moved, she went over to cook hot dogs for a restaurant concept. He came up behind her and she leaned into it and kissed him back. They went into his bedroom and made out. She claims they stopped before either got naked and there was no time. 1 more was 2 days later in the office in the other state. The last time was in the local office, on 12/14, 11 days before I found out about them. Later that week, she let me read the entire text chain back and forth between them. She and I both know this is only part of the story. They were able to talk in person, email and work in. I have not seen any of these other communications. From what I read, it appeared that the notion that they had not had time was confirmed. She told me that they were done, the intimate relationship was done, but through work and the relationship they needed to have for the business, they would still be in contact. Initially she indicated that they would work through intermediaries, however that clearly devolved and they were rather quickly back to email and IM. I told her that I needed to know that they were finished. She needed to take decisive action to end the relationship so I could sleep at night and find a path forward. Needless to say, and to nobody's surprise, I was crushed. I was hopeless and in despair. I was not angry with her, but kept asking the question, why? Why did this happen? I have done nothing but love her and be patient. She even admits she is not the easiest to live with. We had fun together and knew when toggle each other's space. It was a success where others have failed. We returned from our trip to the other coast to visit family for the holidays and after a couple weeks set up couples therapy. This was surprisingly a chore for her. I picked out a list of therapists and told her who I liked best. She told me she wanted a woman and took her time picking out one. We went to our first session and it appeared that we were in lockstep to find a way forward. However, we stepped on a bit of a landmine. While our therapist was discussing the process, she said the phrase, "This is what we will do, if this is what you really want." For some reason that triggered my wife to question what she really wanted. She needed clarity on why she chose to act on her urges and attraction to another man, in spite of her marital relationship with me. She asked for a pause on the couples therapy, pointing out that each of us needed to work on ourselves first. She mainly needed to answer the question why. This was crushing to me. How could she not know what she wants? Couple this with the knowledge that in spite of my repeated and clear requests to end the relationship with him, even if no longer physical and was above the board, she was still carrying a friendly fraternal relationship with him. Then the further blows come in that have absolutely crippled me. Thursday 1/17, I am taking my kids to basketball practice and ask her to join me, but she says she is going to work late instead. I drive by the office seeking a quick hug and kiss. I am needy in this space and her office is dark. She's not there. I confront her on the issue and she claims that she had just run out for a forgotten waxing appointment. Friday 1/18, I find the image of a text from him: "Hide in the kitchen if I promise not to kiss you." Her response: "Count to 10. I confront her and tell her to end it or I am moving out the next day. When we meet up later, she says I took care of it. I find out just days later she did nothing. Monday 1/21, she texts him and a group of friends at work. I don't know the details of the text, only that she texted him. Wednesday 1/23, she returned early from business trip. This is unheard of from her. Been with her a long time. I might remember a handful of times when she came home early from work, let alone a business trip. Thursday 1:24 she goes to happy hour with work friends to celebrate a peer that was leaving. She says in advance he might be there, she later admits that he was but she ignored him and they did not interact. Yeah, okay. Sarcasm. That night she turned off the Find My iPhone app on her phone in spite of location services being turned off. I never could tell where she was. I later find a text to two of the friends going, urging them not to flake out, that my wife had planned this happy hour only because he was there and that they needed to come too. Not this bullshit story that he might stop by. She planned the ducking event expressly for him to come. These events have killed me inside. Not only did she beat me down with the initial infidelity, but she continued to dig the knife into my heart with repeated trauma. I have cried more than I ever thought humanly possible, and even shared with her brief oh so fleeting moments of hurting myself. I have talked to my therapist about this notion. I am going to be okay, yet she still took this selfish, inconsiderate action. I knew what was happening, yet I did nothing like a ducking pussy. I told myself I loved her too much and needed her in my life, that I must find a way to trust and give space while she seeks out clarity with her therapist. This crucial insight is paramount to me. I want to find our way forward, but she has to be 100% in it, not just there because of an obligation, comfort with the kids or I vowed to move out this weekend, even reached out to a friend to find a place to stay. Then Friday, she let me know that she had taken action to end the relationship. She spoke to him in person in the office on Friday and told him they could no longer have contact with each other. She told him that she was making a choice and that they were no more. She even offered me evidence in a text from him saying farewell and that they had each blocked the other's number for texting. I should be elated, I should be happy that there is an indication of hope for a shared future together, yet I am skeptical. She is still the captain of her own domain. What stops her from acting out with him or someone else again? Can I live with myself that I allow her to deceive and disrespect me? How can I know that she is not taking my love for granted? Update, separation. Married 16 years 17 next month. Wife had an affair, D-Day was Christmas Day. Been trying to struggle forward ever since. She cannot break contact with her AP, and in spite of being given 3 months to figure herself out now wants a separation. I don't even know what the duck that means. I get it, we loosen our connection and only interact with the kids, but other than that we aren't married? How do you cope with what one or the other of us does while separated? This whole concept makes me want to vomit and really is ducking with my head. Update, caught wife of 18 years cheating. Hey everyone, hope you are doing well and coping with the struggle of infidelity. I wanted to post a quick follow-up. I posted on here about a month after D-Day, heartbroken and traumatized, but hopeful that we would find a path forward together. Despite the actions, I was understanding and wanted it to work. I in many ways forgave her. Responses to the post unanimously were to end it and head for the hills. There was no recovery. I remember how disheartening this was. I just wanted hope and encouragement. People were saying I was doing the pick-me dance. You know what, they were not wrong. She continued the affair, and despite thousands of dollars on therapy, she kept the relationship alive. And now after 2 years of heartbreak and a year of separation, we are getting divorced. So, folks, I hate to say it, but a cheater is always a cheater. I am open to chatting about my experience with anyone. Would love to be the voice of hope for you, as bleak as it may be. Update. 1. She has not worked at the same company since last spring. Outing her to the company is not an option. 2. I am not informing the AP's spouse of what has taken place. At this point, we are divorced within weeks. It will be final and not worth any fallout. I am moving on. If he wants to sort out his own marriage, that's on him. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, I'm curious what she thinks about the divorce. Did she run to live with AP? Take care. Op answer, AP is married, not an option. At this stage, she is 100% on board with divorce. Redditor 2, if a cheater comes back to you and try to reconcile and go MC, is because the monkey branching didn't work, you are still second choice and you allow the cheating spouse the opportunity to drop you on their own terms. Redditor 3, lesson learned. Never stay with the cheater. It gives them more power to cheat more and more because they get to know that the other partner doesn't have the balls to call it a quit.